Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records, and the day has come. The new Rolling Stones studio album of all original material has arrived. Today is October 20th, 2023, and they have released Hackney Diamonds. What are Hackney Diamonds? Mick Jagger describes it as a smash and grab or a hit and run, and the windows shatter and there's little pieces of glass all over the pavement, and they are Hackney Diamonds. In fact, one of the songs references a hit and run to the song Whole Wide World. Good song. We're going to go through this track by track. What are we expecting when the Rolling Stones come up with an album? So, A Bigger Bang came out in 2006. It was a stripped back album, a little bit more blues influence, a little less bells and whistles than Bridges to Babylon, which had preceded it in 97. So 06, we had Bigger Bang. And then nothing other than a blues cover album, which was excellent in 2016, called Blue and Lonesome. And we've been waiting for a long time. Don Was has been the producer for the last few albums. He is a producer here, but Andrew Watt appears to have taken over like in January of 19. Excuse me. I think Andrew Watt's taken over in 2022 and up to January of 23. Prior to that, Don was recording, and it seems like he was able to really get this thing to the finish line. Andrew Watt is the producer. He's young. He's 34. He's from New York. He's worked with Ozzy. He's worked with Justin Bieber. He's worked with Miley Cyrus. And he has helped the Rolling Stones finish off this good album. And let's talk about this. This is their 26th album in the United States. Their 24th album in the UK. It's on the Polydor label. Produced by the Glimmer Twins, who are Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, Don Was, and Andrew Watt. This thing was recorded from February of 19 and finished up in January of 23. So they've been working on it. In the meantime, Charlie Watts has passed away. Charlie Watts is on 2 tracks. We're going to talk about that. Steve Jordan has taken over on drums for the rest of the album. Daryl Jones is the bass player for 29 years. He's the bass player on this record. But Bill Wyman, the original bass player, returns for one song, and it's one of my favorites. In fact, let's get into this record right now. Opens up with this song that they released about, 6 weeks ago, called Angry. Angry came out, and man, it was, just a very straightforward rock song like the Rolling Stones like to do on their first singles off records. The song has really grown on me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and they go in with their new drummer. Mick Jagger's doing the count off, and they come in a very streamlined way. Meat and potatoes rock and roll with Mick Jagger sounding fantastic on this record. One of my big takeaways on this record is how great and convincing he sounds. He's an 82 or 3-year-old man. There's no chink in the armor vocally at all. In fact, he just sounds rough, ready to fight you. Keith Richards, of course, and Ronnie Wood still in the band. I really like the song Angry. I think it's a great way to introduce Steve Jordan. I think he sounds fantastic on this record. The song grows on you. It's basic. The wolf is at the door with his teeth in his claws, and my mouth is getting sore. Is he the wolf at the door? I think that Mick might be the wolf in the door on Angry. It's a cool song. And Get Close is the next song. Just a fantastic groove. Elton John guests on piano. I don't know why he does when you can't really hear him very much here. But I wrote Stonesy AF. Stonesy is flip. Just a really good. The first 3 songs in the record are written by Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, and Andrew Watt. So Andrew Watt gets writing credits on 3 songs. The rest of the album are credited to Jagger Richards, and the last song is a cover, and we'll get there in a minute. I love the song Get Close, and I like the song Angry. Depending on You, I just listened to it again. So this album came out last night at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, my time in the Central Time Zone, United States. I woke up in the middle of the night and I listened to the record because I knew there was a new Stones album out and I was going to listen to it. Went back to bed, listened to it on the way to work, listened to it at lunch, had an appointment, had to go on, listened to it on that, listened to it on the way home. I've listened to this a lot in the last 14 hours. I loved the song Depending on You. It sounds like their next single to me. It really works. I'm too young for dying, but I'm too old to lose, and I'm depending on you. It's just really good. You know, again, what are we scared of when the Rolling Stones released their 26th album in their 80s? A dud. We're scared of a dud. We're scared of something that's them trying to chase the times and sound like whatever's popular. They sound like the Rolling Stones. Do I have some criticisms of the record? Yes, we're going to get there. And only because, well, we're going to get there. I love the song Depending on You. First 3 songs are very good. Bite Your Head Off is the next song, featuring on bass Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney evidently was so excited to work with the Stones, and it's a cool song. They kind of call it a punk rock song. You know, again, there's a count off with the drums. You know, 1, 2, 3, 2, and it's a rough song. It's kind of loose and edgy, lots of energy. It's fun. Paul McCartney's on bass. It sounds very good. Mick does give him a shout out. I don't know why. Oh, come on, Paul, let's hear some bass. I don't know. I don't like that. Like the song well enough, though. Bite Your Head Off's a cool song. Whole Wide World is next. Just made for the radio. Andrew Watt, again, is a hero on this record. Guarantee you he produced that one. All the guitar solos are big and up front. You know, they're using the studio as a musician. They're using it to make this record sound good. And this thing sounds really good sonically. It's engineered well. It was produced well. You know, a really cool song, Whole Wide World. The next song is Dreamy Skies, acoustic with some slide guitar. You know, Ronnie Wood loves to play slide, and he's good at it. Reminds me of something off of Sticky Fingers. You Gotta Move, just kind of that Delta blues. And I like when the Stones do the blues. That's what they are. Let's face it, they're a blues band from England. They reinterpreted, you know, the United States Delta blues into rock and roll, and that really changed the game for everything going forward. And they're still doing it on their 26th album, Hackney Diamonds. Oh, man. Mess It Up, my favorite song on the record. Mess it up for you. I mean, it just makes me feel good to love rock and roll music when the Rolling Stones, who have been around my entire 50-year life, are still putting good music out on this record. Look at that cover. It's awesome. They're an institution. They did not blow it here. It's great. Charlie Watts is on drums on Mess It Up. Daryl Jones is on bass. Again, he played with Miles Davis. He was on Sting's Dream of the Blue Turtle. He's one of the great bass players. It's an awesome song. Should be their next single. Whatever that means. Whatever the next single means. Made for radio. Live by the Sword is another song that Charlie Watts is on. And not only is Charlie Watts on it, but original bass player Bill Wyman is on it. And Elton John again is on piano. And I can't really hear him. Not my favorite. Now, I was looking at Wikipedia on who's on this record. Chuck Leavell, I think, is on this record playing piano. But he's not on the Wikipedia, and I have not bought the actual album yet. It has not arrived yet. I haven't been home yet. I got multiple studios. By the way, this is my main studio. I have an apartment that you guys have seen videos from. And I do shows at the office. Live by the Sword. Again, Charlie Watts and Bill Wyman, not my favorite song. Driving Me Too Hard. Not as much, but there's some nice organ, and I'm assuming that organ is by Chuck Level. Tell Me Straight. Keith Richards always has a song that he sings. I love this song. I think it's really cool. He sounds, do we have something or nothing at all? Tell me straight. What do we have? It's a cool song. Kind of has a Dylan-esque voice, right? Love the guitar solo in that song too. Then their second single that they released was called Sweet Sounds of Heaven, the one featuring Lady Gaga. Not only is it featuring Lady Gaga, it's featuring very good piano and organ work from Stevie Wonder. Of all the guests, between Elton John and Stevie Wonder, and really between Paul McCartney's bass playing on Bite Your Head Off, instrumentally, Stevie Wonder's makes a nice contribution to what also might be one of the best songs on the record, Sweet Sounds of Heaven, a tribute to Charlie Watts, I think. Blessed to the Father, blessed to the Son. And you hear the sound of the drums. And they're talking about the sweet sounds coming down from heaven. I just have to think that's about Charlie Watts, who passed away. It's got that churchy, let's go to church, take me to the river, keyboards, and Hammond B3 organ by Stevie Wonder. Classic Stones sounding. Lady Gaga sounds great on it. I don't know why Lisa Fisher wasn't singing background. I tend to not like when they have to bring in a big name and, Lady Gaga is on a Rolling Stones record. I don't know. I guess it helps. She's 37. When she's mixed age and 35 years, it's going to help her legacy. And maybe it does then somehow propel this record into more of a classic because she was on it. Maybe that's why they do it. Evidently, they played last night in a club and she came out and sang with them. The album then, the 12th track, this is a 48-minute record, by the way. By the way, subscribe to my channel. We do shows every single day. Thank you all for being out there for me. Their last three records, Voodoo Lounge, Bridges to Babylon, and A Bigger Bang, have all been over 60-minute records. This is a 48-minute record, which is smart. Just because you have the room to put more music on a CD does not mean you need to fill it up. And what they've done in the past, they've filled it up with 2 or 3 songs that don't belong in the record because they're not that good. This is not the case. They finish up with a Muddy Waters song called Rolling Stone Blues. Of course, they were named after that song, Rolling Stone. And it's a perfect way to end the album. Mick Jagger plays some nice harmonica. He sounds convincing singing the blues. It's really good. It's a great way to bookend. If this is the last thing that they ever do, it's a great album. I know that I think they're going to have another album, and I think they're going to have another album next year. Maybe this time next year. Why not tour this album this summer? Put another album out next October. 2025 on another album because they have the tracks. They were working with Watt and Don Was for a long time. How do I rate this album? A 5 is a classic. A 4 is great. A 3 is good. A 2 is not good. And a 1 is bad. This is a 4. This is a great album. It's a new Rolling Stones album. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I like it a lot. I'm going to keep listening to it. I'm sure it'll grow on me more. My only complaint maybe is that there could be some more saxophone. I do hear some saxophone on a couple songs. There could be some more jamming, some more guitars, some more. They're playing it a little bit safe here. Wouldn't mind hearing. Is there a Can You Hear Me Knocking on this? No. But it's solid Stones. Check out my channel. Congratulations, Rolling Stones, on a great album. Peace out. We'll see you later.